I wish I could. Oh, okay. I like this. Great. Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily, if we don't know each other. Welcome back if you've been to my class before. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see. So again, I am in hero pose. So that's basically, bending your knees and coming in between your shins. Now you're supposed to sit with your sit bones on the ground, but because again it's the beginning of the class, I like to put a block, or you put a pillow or something to kind of elevate me a little bit. Now if this irritates your knees at all, then just come to a seated position. We're just going to get grounded a little bit here. So I invite you to close your eyes. And you can place your hands wherever is comfortable on your body. And just take a deep breath in. And a big sigh out. Big breath in. And a sigh out. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And try to find that center in your body. So maybe lean forward slightly and back. Feeling those sit bones on your block or your mat. Just having a nice long spine, shoulders away from your ears. Crown of your head is reaching to the ceiling. You can flutter your eyes open if you have them closed. And we're going to come to a kneeling position so you can get rid of your block or your whatever was in between your legs. And let's go ahead and kneel about hip distance apart. And if you need a blanket underneath your knees to get a little bit more comfort, that's totally fine. We're going to inhale our arms up. And just exhale our hands down. Do that one more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Next time when you inhale, we're going to take our right leg out to the side, nice and strong. Really actively place your foot there. Your toes going to be pointing towards the front of the room. You're just going to inhale your left arm over your ear. Your right hand on your thigh, maybe going further down on your thigh. Chest is open. A nice stretch in that left side body. And inhale to center. Exhale, we're going to place our left hand on the mat, or if you need to bring the ground up a little bit, you can place your hand on the block and reach your right arm over your ear. Getting a different side stretch here. Really, again, activate that leg. Chest is nice and open. Maybe you look to the ceiling. And with your right arm, just kind of bend your elbow, place your head in your hand, and try to maybe open up your chest to the ceiling. And place your hand back, reaching to the right side or the sides of the room, and then we're going to inhale. Bring your everything together, your knee to your elbow, and really reach opposite directions. Bring it into the center, squeezing. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, squeeze. Inhale, and exhale, nice and controlled, really squeezing, waking up that side body. Do that 2 more times. And come back to center, big inhale. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back, clasp your hands if you can, and really reach your chest nice and open, like a string is pulling you up to the ceiling. Shoulders away from your ears. Nice, bring your right leg in, shake out your wrists. Let's put a left foot out. And really reach over with your right arm. Be nice and deep into the stretch. Again, chest is open. Come to the other side, place your right hand on the mat and reach your left arm over, your right arm over, your left arm, your right, over your head. Chest is open, maybe look to the ceiling. Bring your left hand close to your head, maybe allowing your head to rest in your hands, and then twisting your body, opening up to the ceiling. Good, reach your left hand over your ear. We're gonna bring our elbow to our knee, squeezing in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Really reaching nice and long, bringing everything together. Reaching, nice work. We're gonna do it 2 more times, so really reach. And bring everything in. Last time. Nice. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands together. Another chest opener here. Maybe getting a little bit deeper in your back bend. Really turning on your core to support you. Great, bring your leg in. And your inhale 1 more time all the way up. And exhale, let's shake out our wrists. We're gonna bring our hands together, clasp them together, and just make a little figure 8, waking up our wrists. We're gonna do a lot of Vinyasa, a lot of chaturangas today, so I'm gonna have your wrists nice and awake. Okay, let's come to tabletop. So your wrists are gonna be under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, nice flat back, crown of your head reaching to the front of the room. When you inhale, drop your belly, raise your hips up, opening your chest into cow. And exhale, now come into cat, chin to chest, really arching your back. Inhale, back to cow. Maybe getting a little bit deeper with your belly. And exhale, cat. Maybe you're looking at your tummy. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Nice. Come back to neutral. Tuck your toes. We're going to Lift your knees just an inch or two off the ground, really hovering the knees, really turning on your core. Fingers are spread on the mat. Fingertips are really digging into the mat, giving you a little bit more power to push yourself away from the mat. Using your breath, we're going to start building our Ujjayi breath. So breathing in and out of your nose with a slight restriction in the back of your throat. Making a little oceanic sound. It's not permanent. If you begin to shake, that's good. It means you're getting stronger. Nice. Now lift your hips up to the ceiling and reach your heels down to the mat into downward facing dog. This is our first downward facing dog. Let's pedal out our feet, bending one knee at a time. Shaking your head yes or no. Really settling into your downward facing dog. Look to your hands. We're just going to take a couple steps up so your feet are right behind your wrists, about hip distance apart. And if you want to measure those out, it's about 2 fists wide. And put those in between your feet. And ragdoll here. So just let gravity take hold. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Letting your head hang. Letting your arms hang. If it feels good, you can move side to side, waking up our spine. Drop your hands if you have them grasped, and let's raise up very slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Head is last to raise up. Inhale your arms all the way up to the ceiling, maybe lift to the ceiling, and exhale, hands to heart center. Let's heel toe our feet together. Big toes touch, heels are a little bit separated. Shoulders away from your ears. Really grounding down. Hi, Zeus. Chest is open. A little friend here. We're going to inhale our arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. So let's keep our knees bent since we're just warming up here. Inhale, flat back. Really take that arch out of your back, pushing against your shins, your knees, whatever is accessible to you. Your crown of your head is reaching to the front of the room, core is engaged. And exhale, return to forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Now plant your hands on the ground and step back into your plank. If this means you need to drop your knees, that's totally fine. Regardless if your knees are up or down, let's have a nice controlled core, sucking it in, not too low, not too high, just right. Fingers again are really gripping into the mat. You can start using your Ujjayi breath again. Again, it's not permanent. Rock forward so your shoulders are a little bit above your fingertips. With your elbows into your rib cage, let's lower slowly all the way down. Maybe your chest and your belly come down at the same time. Untuck your toes and let's lift our chest up into cobra. Elbows into our side. Head is neutral to our spine. Really using our pelvic floor to push off the ground. And exhale down. Inhale, rise up to cobra. And exhale down. Inhale to cobra, really engaging everything, maybe lifting your fingers off the ground, hovering your fingers an inch or two. Shoulders away from your ears. And exhale all the way down. Push up to plank or to tabletop, and then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your hands. Exhale all the air out. Step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rising up, maybe doing a little back bend. And hands to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Now plant your hands on the ground. This time, let's bring our left knee into our chest and slowly move just the left foot back. Coming into runner's lunge, so really opening up your chest to the front of the room. Feeling the ground underneath our feet. Heel is up in the back. We're going to inhale our arms up into crescent lunge. Arms can be up, or they can be in cactus arms or prayer position, whatever's comfortable for you. Really pushing off that back leg, that ball of the foot. And then just peer down at your big toe. Make sure that you can see it. If you can't, we need to move your right hip slightly back a little bit so your knee's pointing towards your pinky side of your foot. And maybe with each exhale, you get a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, open up to warrior two. So your right arm is reaching to the front of the room, left arm is reaching to the back. Your gaze can be over your middle finger. And again, don't lose that knee. Try not to have it dump to the left. And if you need to lengthen your stance a little bit more, that's totally fine. You're not stuck where you landed. Now inhale, straighten your front leg. We're going to turn to the left side of the room. So your feet are going to be toes out wide, heels towards the middle. We're going to come into a goddess squat. So your knees should always be tracking where your toes are pointed. We're just going to get nice and low with our arms and our legs, and then lift all the way up, squeezing your inner thighs together. Low, come down, and squeezing up. Do this 3 times, nice and controlled, squeezing up. Now we're going to lean over to our left side. So bending your left knee, coming down. Now, you might feel a nice lunge or stretch here, that's fine. Or maybe you need to come down here, or maybe you need to use your blocks. Or you can come all the way down. Maybe your heel comes up, and that's totally fine. And maybe your right toe can lift up, pointing towards the ceiling. And if you want still a little bit more, you can maybe try to come into prayer position arm. So just maybe try one hand and then the other, finding a spot in front of you that's not moving. Get your balance. We're going to move over to the right side. So we're going to inhale here. Exhale, move over. Now you can plant your hands down and move, or you can try to move without your hands. Coming to this side. And let's move back. So we're going to moving back, nice and controlled. Now turn to the back of your mat. Your heel comes up in the back. Step back to plank. We're going to lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale to cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift to your hands. Exhale all the air out. You can step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Plant your hands on the mat. Now bring your right knee into your chest, moving it back to the back side of the mat. Finding your runner's lunge, chest is open. Getting ready to rise up to crescent lunge on this side. Squeezing your hips together, really pushing back in that ball of your foot. If you feel any tinging in your back, lower back, just bend that back knee, making sure your pelvis is nice and neutral. Tailbone is reaching to the ground. Maybe getting a little bit deeper. Nice inhale. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Pull in your right hand a little bit so your shoulders are above your hip. And again, making sure you're looking at your toe, where your knee is positioned. And if you want to try to imagine to magnetize your heels together. Kind of really turns on that base. Be nice and strong. Maybe your knee is trying to reach to that heel. Inhale, straighten your leg, coming to the left side of the room again. We're going to come back into those goddess squats. This time, if you need a little bit more, you can raise your heels up, challenging your balance a little bit more. Make sure you're not falling forward. Make sure you're keeping a nice long spine. Okay, one more time, reaching up. Now we're going to lunge over to our right side as low as you can go, whatever is working for your body. Then we're going to shoot back to the back, maybe without using your hands, maybe using your hands. And one more time, let's come back to the front of the mat. Spin around, heel comes up, step back to plank. Now you can lower halfway this time or all the way. And if you went halfway, let's roll over our toes into upward facing dog. And back over your toes to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, lift your hands, exhale all the air out, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Rising up nice and strong. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that again. We're going to speed it up. One breath, one movement. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, left knee comes into chest, reaching back, coming inhale to crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to goddess squat. So let's come down and up. Really, and up, so nice and long. One more time, really squeezing everything up. Lunging to the back side of the mat. Here. Going to the front of the mat. Good, and one more time to the back of the mat. Turn to face the back of the mat, come back to plank. Lower halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Good, nice job, you guys. Inhale, lift your hands, exhale all the air out. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Rise up. And hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, right knee comes into your chest. Inhale to crescent. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, coming to the left side of the mat. Goddess squats here, 3 of them. Nice and controlled. We're going to head over to our side lunge to the front of the mat. So leaning over, starting here. Moving to the back. Nice and strong. And then moving to the front. Place your hands on the mat and we'll meet in downward facing dog. If you want to skip all of this, you can, and just come straight into downward facing dog. It's your practice. Inhale, lift to your hands. Exhale, all the air out. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And rise up. Hands to heart center. Nice work, guys. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Coming into a nice flat back. Hands on the mat, left knee into your stomach. Coming into the inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, goddess squats. Nice and controlled. You can lift your heels up if you need a little bit more. Good, now let's side lunge to the back of the mat. Pausing here. And then going to the front. Nice. And then moving to the back. Good job. Hands on the mat, come into plank. Lower halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Inhale, lift to your hands. Exhale, all the air out. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Rising up. And hands to heart center. And last time through, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, right knee into chest, reaching back. Inhale to crescent. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, goddess squats. The last 3 of practice today. So really squeezing everything together when you rise. Trying to get it low as you can. Now lean. We're going to lunge to the front of the mat. And then to the back of the mat. And then to the front of the mat. You guys are doing great. Plant your hands, step back, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Nice. Let's pause here for a second. Just regaining our strength, feeling our hands on the mat, really reaching our hips up to the ceiling and our heels down to the mat. Head is nice and loose. Let's shake our heads yes or no. Let's take our feet wide apart. Bring your right arm, trying to reach for your left thigh or shin or foot, however you want to get there. And just give yourself a nice little twist here. Plant our right hand and do the same with our left. So reaching for our right leg. Maybe looking under our armpit. Okay, come back to downward facing dog. Look to your hands, exhale all the air out. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise to chair. So coming into chair, we're going to look at our toes, making sure we can see both of our toes under our knees. And if you can't, just make sure you're really moving that bum back in space. Feel your toes. You know, you're really coming into your heels, getting them a little bit lower. It's not permanent. Squeezing your hips together. You can have your feet hip distance apart or feet together. Again, whatever you're feeling today. Get a little bit lower. Okay, now let's inhale. We're going to open our arms up to the right side of the room. So the right arm is reaching to the back. Your left arm is reaching to the front. We're getting a nice twist, just making sure that your knees are not jutting out in front of one or the other. Just moving, playing with your hips so they're the same, they're parallel to each other. Really stretching your arms out. Maybe your head is turning over to your right shoulder. And come back to center. We're going to lean forward into bear pose. So your body's going to be parallel to the ground. Again, making sure your bum is moving back into space. And make sure you have your blocks in front of you. You might need them. Do some balancing poses here. So let's bring our left foot into our chest. Good. We're going to come into half moon pose. So really moving our left foot back. Our toes are going to eventually point to the left side of the room, and so is our chest. So we're going to open up our chest. Maybe you need a block just to feel that real pose. Open up your chest. The leg can be like around hip distance high. Really squeezing, making sure you're not hyperextending that straight leg, the grounding leg. Make sure you have a little bit of a bend. And if you want to push yourself a little bit more, challenge yourself, just try to lift off the block or maybe look up to the ceiling. Challenge yourself a little bit here. If you fall down, that's awesome. Just get back up. We're going to switch from here to warrior 3. So we're going to turn our body over so our hips are parallel with the ground. Our heels turning up to the ceiling. And our toe is pointing down to the ground. If you want to use your blocks, you can. To, again, like making sure that your hips are parallel. And then maybe again, challenge yourself, lifting up off the blocks, squeezing your hips together, squeezing your glutes and your hamstrings up. Place your hands on the mat, and we're going to come into standing split. So I don't care how high you get. I just want to make sure that you keep your hips parallel to the ground, and then use your to really lift up as high as you can go. And if you want to try a bouncing pose here, you can maybe grab one ankle with your hand, and then the other hand can try to grab it. Playing around here a little bit. Okay, we're going to lift our foot up, and then we're going to bring our knees so they touch. So bring your left knee into the back side of your right knee, and then reach up, really squeezing your glutes and your hamstring up, and coming down, squeeze everything to the midline. Pushing everything back. Keep your hips as parallel as you can. Inhale and exhale, squeeze up. Okay, we're going to float back into crescent lunge. Heels up in the back. And exhale to warrior two. Nice. Now flip your wrist. We're going to inhale, reverse warrior. So really reaching our right arm over our right ear. Again, try not to lose that lunge in the front leg. Really reaching that arm behind you. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Step back to plank and lower halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog or cobra and downward facing dog. And inhale your right leg up. And exhale your right knee to your right shoulder, squeezing everything. Then inhale, right leg up. Exhale, cross your body to your left elbow. And inhale up. Breathe everything, coming leg all the way through. Holding here, chest is open. We're going to step up so our left foot meets our right foot into a nice forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come back to chair. So bring nice and low. Couple breaths here. We'll do the left side. Get a little bit deeper. Use your Ujjayi breath. You're doing great. Now open up your arms to the left. So your left hand is reaching to the back. Your right arm is extending forward. Again, just tuck your knees. Make sure they're parallel to each other. Maybe looking over your left shoulder. Reaching arms. Good, come back to bear pose, nice flat back. We're gonna lean everything into our left foot, coming into a half moon on this side. Again, if you need your blocks, that's great. If not, that's fine too. Again, your toes are gonna be pointed to the right side of the room, and so is your chest. So really try to open up your chest to the right side of the room. Really having a nice strong standing leg, which is not hyperextended. Maybe you're looking up to the ceiling. Okay, now coming into warrior three. So again, let's move our hips so they're parallel to the ground. Lifting up our right leg. Placing our hands wherever's comfortable. You can bring them overhead. You can bring them to a T. Toes pointing down. Nice work. One more breath here. Now bring your hands down to the ground, standing split. So again, let's make sure our hips are parallel to the ground, really using my glutes and the hamstrings to lift our leg. Now bring your right knee to the back of your left knee, and then stretch it out, really squeezing up with your glutes, hamstring. Inhale, squeeze everything to the midline. Exhale, squeeze up. One more time, inhale to the middle. Exhale, squeezing up, floating back. Crescent lunge, and then opening up. Warrior two. Flip your front wrist and reach back with your left arm. Reverse warrior. Checking your knee, making sure you're not losing that lunge. Magnetizing your heels together. And if you're gripping the mat with your toes, lift up your toes gently and place them on the mat. Just to kind of place where re-energize. I can't even talk right now. Sorry. You know what I mean, right? Good, really reaching behind you. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. And inhale your left up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow or shoulder. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, cross your body, squeezing everything in. Good. Inhale, left leg up. Bring your left foot all the way forward, chest open. And your right foot comes up to meet your left foot in a nice forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to chair. So again, we're going to speed that up. So we're going to inhale here and then exhale a little bit deeper. And then let's open our arms to the right. We're twisting our upper body, looking over our right shoulder if possible. Good. Inhale, swing your arms down, coming into bear pose, pausing here. And then we're going to shift everything to our right foot. Half moon pose. So however you want to get in that posture, that's great. Holding here for a breath. If you fall, that's great. Coming into warrior three, so twist your hips down to the parallel to the ground. Standing split, so lift your left foot up. And now bring your knees together. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, squeeze up. Lift up one more time, squeeze everything together. Reaching back, coming into crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Holding here, maybe you can exalt your warrior if you want. Good. Roll your hands down, step back. Lowering halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale your right leg all the way through. Opening up your chest, stepping forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to chair. Exhale, let's get a little bit deeper. Inhale, open arm twist to the left. Really reaching opposite direction. Good, coming into bear pose, finding your strength. We're gonna move everything into our left foot, half moon pose with your right foot out behind you. Holding here for a breath. Moving into warrior three. Nice and slow and controlled, holding here for a breath. Standing split, really reach your leg up and squeeze everything to the midline. Reaching your right leg up, squeeze up and into the middle. Squeezing up and down. One more time, really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Float back to crescent lunge. Open up to warrior two. And reverse warrior. Maybe exalted, bringing your right hand forward. Chest is open up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, bring your left foot all the way through. Chest opens as we step up to a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale the chair. Round one more time. Open up, twisting to the right. Coming into bear pose. Shift everything to your right foot. Half moon pose. Holding for a breath here. Warrior three, shifting your hips parallel. Heel comes up. Head standing split, really reaching your heel up. Bring your knees together. Reaching up. Bring your knees together. Nice work, you guys. Inhale up. One more time, bring your knees together. Holding here, floating back, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse or exalted. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Step back, lowering halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right leg all the way through, chest opens. And stepping up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Coming back down to forward fold into our chair. Breathing here, getting a little bit deeper. Open our twist to the left. Reaching in opposite directions. Coming into bear. Finding our balance and shifting everything over to the right. Reaching back, half moon pose. Oh, I'm sorry. Listen up to the left, right leg comes up. Half moon pose with the right leg up. Holding here. You're turning over to warrior three. Hips are down. Ooh, I'm gonna bounce. Nice standing split. So right leg up and knees together. Right leg up and knees together. Right leg up and knees together. One more time. Really reaching the right heel up. Come into crescent lunge. Really inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse our exalted warrior. Cartwheel your hands down and step back to plank. Now we can stay here for plank. This is going to be our strongest plank of the day. So place your knees down if you get tired or if you ever need to go into child's pose, that's totally fine. If you're ready to rock and roll in our plank, let's do it. So we're going to hold here for just a little bit more, really grounding down. So your fingertips are going to be pushing into the mat. Core is engaged. Again, not too low, not too high for hips. Have them nice and strong and engaged. Quads are engaged. You're pushing back on the balls of your feet. Using your breath. Nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist our hips down to the right, getting as close as you can to the ground without touching the ground. And then come back up to center. And then twisting your hips down to the left. And then coming back up. And going back to the right. Now you can go at your own pace. You can speed it up. Or go slower. Whatever you're feeling like today. I tend to like to go a little bit slower because I feel like I'm really utilizing my core muscles to place me where I need to be, but everyone has their own pace. You guys are doing great. Making sure you're breathing. If you're holding your breath, you're only hurting yourself. Breath is good. Nice work. Once you've rounded out, come back to the plank, pushing right here. We're going to come to our right side, our heel. So your left foot is on top of your right foot. Reaching your left arm up, side plank, getting nice and tall in our hips, reaching to the sky, chest open, big inhale. Exhale, we're gonna twist through our body. So really turning into ourselves, reaching our left arm all the way to the right side of the room. Coming up. Inhale, and coming back to the twist, really twisting with your core. And up, we're gonna do this about 5 times. Reaching, nice job. Good, 2 more times, you guys, you can do this. Squeeze and twist. Plant your hands, come back to center. Twist your left heel over, so right heel's on top of your left. Reach your right arm up. Getting nice and tall in the hips. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Inhale, open. Exhale, twisting through, reaching to the left side of the room. Good, and coming up. And reaching through. Yeah, 3 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. You guys are doing awesome. So strong. You always put your knees down if you need to. One last time. Squeezing through. Coming back to normal plank. We're going to hold here for 30 seconds. If at any time you want to put your knees down, go, feel free. Using your breath here. If you need to like move your body, because some people don't like standing here, you can try to move your knees to your elbows. That might help take your mind off of it. We have 15 more seconds. Getting nice and strong. You guys can do this. Using your breath. Pushing away the floor. Core engaged, quads engaged. 5 more seconds. Great. Knees down, wide apart. Big toes touched, forehead to the ground, coming in to child's pose. Nice work. Catching your breath here. you're ready to move on, and come with me. If you want to stay in child's pose, then feel free to stay a little bit longer and catch up with us. We're going to do a little bit more balancing and strength training. So you're going to look to your hands from downward facing dog. And we're going to inhale our right leg up. Bring your right foot by your right pinky. And then bring your left foot by your left pinky. Coming into Yogi Squat or Malasana. I'm going to face the front of the foot. I'm getting a little sweaty here. Nice. And just if this is uncomfortable for you, you can always place a block underneath your bum at any height. Or you can stay here. Whatever's feeling good in your body. I like Malasana because it really opens up my hips, and I run a lot, and it just feels good to open up my hips. Hopefully it feels good too. So if you want a little bit more, let's place our right hand on the ground. Your left arm reaches up to the ceiling, and if that's enough, that's great. Just make sure that your left knee isn't dumping forward. It's kind of staying out nice and wide. Really reaching up, opening up your twist. And maybe your right hand comes behind, your left hand comes behind your back. Still keeping your chest open to the ceiling. And maybe your right hand reaches to your left hand, and maybe they clasp, maybe they don't. And this is enough for people, that's great. It's a nice twist, nice stretch. Getting nice and strong, right? If you want a little bit more, we're gonna heel toe our whatever leg you have wrapped around closer to your standing leg. And I like to start off kind of more into a bear pose here with a pointed toe. And maybe you can get that toe off the ground. I like to stare at the ground first to get my balance. And maybe you can lift it up, maybe coming all the way up. Oh, chest is nice and open, nice and strong, making sure not to hyperextend that standing leg, have a little micro bend in it. Using your breath. Now we're gonna come down, but I want you guys to be nice and controlled, or try not to fall. I usually sometimes fall, but we'll see. Nice and slow. Come all the way down. Nice work for whatever position you were in, and if you couldn't get all the way up, it's something to strive for next time. That's awesome. Whatever you did, it was great. Let's do the other side. So let's place our left hand on the ground, reaching up with our right hand. And again, maybe opening up our chest, maybe bringing our hand behind our back, and maybe trying to seek out those hands together. And if that's what you're doing today, that's great. Again, let's try not to dump that knee in front of you. And if you need a little bit more, we're going to heel toe this foot into the standing foot, finding our bear pose, or however you want to stand up, really wrapping that knee, the arms around the knee. Pointed toe, trying to lift off. And again, if you're here, just stay here. That's all. It's strength, building strength. And if you fall, that's even better. It's not about being perfect, right? That's what I love about yoga. There's no perfect yoga. There's just yoga. No matter how much you practice. Good, holding wherever you are for one more breath. And coming down, let's try to be nice and controlled wherever you are. Bringing it all down. Okay, come back to Malasana. You give yourself a little figure eight, and make little figure eights with your hips. Feels good. Plant your hands. And step back into downward facing dog. Look to your hands. Step to the top of your mat. I'm just going to come down on your heels onto your back. Let's do a little core work, if that's okay with you guys. Okay, so we're going to start we're going to start sitting up nice and tall. You can begin with your hands behind your thighs. Feet are parallel to the ground. But if you need a little bit more, because you can do this, we're just going to come in and come out. If you need a little bit more, then cross your right ankle over your left ankle and move your arms out nice and straight. Chest is open. We're going to bring everything in. So your knees are going to split apart. Your chest comes in between your legs. And then you're going to lengthen out, really squeezing your inner thighs. So you're going to bring it in and out. Okay, that's ready, and let's go for it. You can go as fast or slow as you want. Just making sure you're really breathing, really squeezing in. Chest is staying nice and open. Your legs are squeezing together. Good, now let's lower down. Bring your hands over your head, reaching up. Coming back, let's get set to do another round. Starting right now. Let's go. Squeezing in, lengthening out. Core is turned on. Chest is open. Again, if you needed to just brace yourself a little bit, just bring your thighs in. Bring your arms around your thighs and squeezing in still. And lay down, stretching out. Let's crisscross the other ankle, so left over right. And let's begin. Squeezing in. You guys are doing awesome. Your core should be starting to turn on, if not burning already. And your thighs are kind of feeling it, they're squeezing them together. Nice work, you guys. Use your breath. Don't forget to breathe. Good. One more time. Not this one. We'll go to a different ab. Coming back up. Chest open. Left over right. Let's go. Again, you can speed up if you want to. All I care about is that you're breathing. And if you need to take a break, you take a break. And good. Let's bring our feet flat on the mat. Shoulders can be lifted off the mat. Hands can be behind your head, maybe right behind your skull. And don't pull your neck. Just let it lay in your fingers. And we're going to just lifting up. So ready, set, and go. Lifting up with our core. Staying nice, and our stomach is nice and flat here using different muscles. So really keep your legs activated. Good, keep it going. You guys are doing awesome. And take a break, stretching our arms overhead. Big breath in. And a big sigh out, coming back up, getting ready. Set and go. Now try to get your elbows so they're lifting up to the ceiling as opposed to your feet. So you're really lifting your chest up. Squeezing your core. And nice work. And big breath in. Someone just delivered. Hope it's my Amazon purchase. Coming back up. And go. We have 2 more times of this, you guys. You can do it. Nice and strong. Legs are straight, activated. Using your breath. Shoulder blades off the ground. You can speed it up if you want to. Nice. Oh, one last time. We can do this. That's breathing everything up. We can do it. And set, go. Nice work, guys. You can do this. You're getting stronger. I can see it. 10 more seconds, you guys. You can do it. Give me all you got. Use your breath. 5 more seconds. Good. Nice stretch out. Bring your feet together. Really breathing in. Nice big breath. Stretching your arms. And exhale. Bring your feet wide on the mat. And let's windshield wiper our knees back and forth. Whew, that felt really good. Let's bring our knees into our chest and give yourself a little massage, moving your knees to the right, little circles, and then to the other side. Let's come into a figure 4 stretch. So bring your right foot up, nice long leg. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Bring your left foot off the mat. If you need a little bit more, you can reach through your thighs, grabbing your left thigh, pulling it in as close as you can. Flexing that right foot, or you can flex both feet. Maybe using your right elbow to push your knee a little bit farther away from you. Breathing into that hip. Okay, let's switch legs. So bring your right leg up, cross your right leg over your left leg, your left leg over your right thigh. Sorry, I'm getting my left and my right confused. And bring your right thigh as close as you can to your body, flexing your left foot. Again, really breathing into that left hip, just letting it melt, telling it to relax. Let's bring our feet down, and if you, let's do happy baby from here. Let's bring our feet up, grabbing the bottom of your feet, your shin or your thighs. Let's try to bring your knees as close to the mat as you can, letting your hips and your shoulders really melt into the mat. And if it feels good, you can rock side to side. Bring everything together, squeezing in, even your face, squeeze everything in. And extend your legs down, feet can flop out, arms come at your side into your Shavasana. Maybe your palms are up. I invite you to close your eyes again. Let go of any judgment of your practice. Letting go of any breathing techniques. Feeling your tummy rise and fall with each breath. Take a deep breath in and a sigh out. Bring awareness to your fingers and your toes. Maybe wiggling everything, maybe squeezing your fingers in and reaching them out and rotating your ankles. Bring your feet together, arms overhead. One more big stretch. And knees into your chest, rolling over to whichever side is more comforting to you. Your head in your hands, just taking a breath here. Using your hands to push you up back to seated position. Maybe your eyes are still closed, with your spine nice and tall, shoulders still away from your ears. Bring your hands into prayer position, slightly tucking our chin. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. It meant so much to me to allow you to lead me and lead you guys in this practice. The light in me bows down to the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much.